And
great.
good evening and welcome to the Locker Room
You
Chat.
sang the chorus.
And we've got a little chat going here, and we've been singing the old Tennessee fight song in the locker room.
We'll talk about that later. Not right now. Got Coach Terry here. I tell you what.
Well, look at him smiling.
He
Bud.
won't, there's a guy. Listen, I get a phone call. Brad knows this house. Got a phone call a while ago. Said, I understand Coach Terry's going to be on TV tonight with you. I said, that's what I'm told. 12
that's
hot,
exciting
12
night.
hot, 12 hot dogs. I'll bet you 12 hot dogs. Clinton beats Harris County from an individual.
That's
That's
from
everybody. No, ET.
Oh.
Bet Coach Terry 12 hot dogs. I don't eat hot dogs. That's what Coach Terry says. He won't take the bet. 12 hot dogs.
Well, now wait a minute.
I'll
Wait a minute.
take
Now
the bet.
you can't put the man.
I just
on
don't
the
eat the
you
dog,
can't,
but
you
I'll
can't
take
put
the
a man
bet.
on.
I'll feed him to
You
somebody.
can't put a
I
man
just
on the
did.
spot like that.
Well, I just did.
I know, but you shouldn't. Man, what? You can't
Yeah,
do that.
he won't
He
take.
did.
He
No,
won't.
he
He
did.
won't take.
No,
He won't
you
take
can't
the
do
bet.
that.
Oh, I'll
Coach, I
take it.
apologize.
I'm
It's
just
good
not
to have
eating
you.
a dog.
It's good to have you with us.
I'm glad to be here.
How is
Thanks
everything?
for having
Oh,
me.
man.
Good.
How
Really
is
good.
everything?
Really good. Good. Nice to be 3-0. Nice to be number 4 in the state. Have a good football team around you. Have a bunch of guys that you like being around and coaching with each day. I can't complain about that at all.
You know, Coach, you've talked some time about this freshman class when it came in. You talked about having some special kids and things, but these kids probably are a little more special than you even thought, right
Ron,
at the time.
I've watched them. You know, some of them I've known for a long time since they were just little bitty fellas.
Right,
running
I agree
around
with you.
The NAGAF Lake City program right there, and getting to watch them grow up and become the young men that we've always wanted them to be. They do great things in the community. They have a lot of volunteer community service hours. They're great in the classroom. I can't tell you how many. We've got a program up there called Read Option Friday. Our kids go and read to some students at other schools. Some
Doesn't have anything
elementary-
to do with the offense.
Right. It's just a Read Option Friday deal. They take time out of their lunch period to go up there and read to some students at our school. And it's just these kids, you don't have to ask them to do it. They want to do it. And that's the kind of stuff that we've talked about for a long time. And we've had some good kids come through our football program, and we've got some really good ones right now that are just buying into what we're selling and doing some of the things we're asking them to do. Coach Gillum, we added a few coaches this summer, and Coach Gillum's just done a great job managing those guys and the way that a good head coach does, and helped our program out. I think, sometimes you get so many kids and, 8 coaches managing 90, 100 kids, it's tough. And when you get 10 coaches on there, it changes some things for you, and you're able to focus on some other things. Coach Gillum's able to focus on facilitating the program a little more and not offense or defense.
How many you
he's done
got
in the
out?
past.
You got 100 almost?
No, we don't have 100 now, but we're around 80. But to have
big.
10 coaches, 10, 11 coaches being able to manage that number is a lot better than having 8 coaches manage that number. And
Oh,
like I
yeah.
said, it allows Coach Gillum, frees him up to look at some other pieces, parts of the game that normally he wouldn't be able to focus in on. And he's able to do that.
Coach, you've got a quarterback that's probably as good as anyone in East Tennessee.
And you would say Cade Bauer's pretty good, I know.
You've,
We like our guy too.
You've got some wide receivers, but you typically have good skill players. You almost always have had a really good, strong running back. So you're putting all those together now. You finally are in a region where it's much more adaptable for you week in and week out than
Right.
than the region you've been in. So you have to feel really really good at this time.
One of the things that we've had in the past is a big physical offensive line, and this year we're going to put a big physical offensive line up on the field as well. And we haven't. The last couple years we've had parts of that, but this year we're going to put 5 kids up there that are big kids that can run, they can block, they're aggressive, they're fun to watch. You'll see, we've got 5 260-pound kids up there, and they're going to come and get you.
Your 2 running backs.
Mason and Marquise.
Man, 2-headed monster.
Mason's about 210, Marquise is about 225. So you get used to tackling that 210, then that 225 train comes rolling through there, and you got to reach around that kid and get him on the ground. And then of course, a third aspect of that is Stanton Martin and his ability to run the football. He's thrown for 1,000 yards in 3 games. we've rushed the football for over 1,000 yards in 3 games, and Stanton Martin's a piece of that. You know, he's going to run the football too, so he's an element that sometimes defenses, they're going to tackle your big running backs, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards down the field, but Stanton Martin's got an elusive piece to him where he's not only a quarterback runner, he's a running back too, and he can run the football.
Coach, one of the things, and you please don't take this the wrong way,
No.
but it seems like 4 or 5 years ago forward, you've offensively you've really been able to move the ball, but sometimes the physicality wasn't there
Right.
in the front 7.
Yes.
And so consequently you could score, but sometimes you couldn't keep them from scoring.
Right. Right.
It sounds like that's changing something.
Defensively, John Chadwell's been with us. This is going to be his 6th year with us as defensive coordinator. His brother, of course, just took over the head coaching job there at Coastal Carolina. He's a wealth of knowledge for us. A lot of fun to have a guy like that we can lean on and call, throw questions out at him. And he's been a great resource to us right there as far as finding defensive answers for offensive questions that these offensive guys keep coming up with. Coach Gillum, to me, is one of the best ones at throwing things at you offensively that you've got to find some way to stop. And sometimes it's execution for us, and not necessarily what the defense does. But defensively for us this year, Coach Chadwell has brought something to the table for us that's really been big for us, and it's a physicality piece where our kids are a little bigger, a little stronger. We're putting a junior senior class out instead of a junior sophomore class out on the defensive side right there. We're playing more kids. In the past, I think y'all have also always said we play about 14, 15 kids on Friday night.
Right.
And you get in a big game late in the season, and that 16 to 25 kid that should have gotten some playing time during the season, he's not going to get that time, and it's going to hurt him. And we've done a better job these last 3 games getting some of the young kids in there. And I say young, there's some juniors and some sophomores and some seniors that we may consider young because they don't start, but they're going to get plenty of snaps these last 3 games.
Makes practice a lot more fun.
It does. And for the first time in a few years, we're able to actually do 11 on 11 and actually have 11 on both sides of the ball that are going to get after each other a little bit and make each other better. And there again, injuries are a part of it as we go through the season right there. And always depth comes into play. And I think this year in particular is going to go in our favor for once, that we've got some young kids and some kids that don't start that can go in there and do the job for us.
Junior heavy class, right?
Yes, sir.
How many seniors?
We've got 16 seniors.
That's a lot.
We're going to start. Probably 5 of those are going to start tomorrow night. Mostly, like I said, a junior class. When you put back-to-back classes together at Anderson County, you got a good football team, and we don't do that every year. We'd love to do that every year. But
I understand.
We don't do that every year, but we've got a junior and a senior class that are back-to-back classes that we feel really good about. And we've got some sophomores that are surprising us right now that are stepping into some key roles that are able to do some things that we weren't counting on them to be able to do. So, hopefully next year as we progress into next year and those juniors become seniors and those sophomores become juniors, that they step into that role where you got 2 good classes of kids that you can put out there and help your depth.
Coach, Clinton, Anderson County is obviously is big.
Yeah,
But
big ticket for the gate. I wish I was getting the home gate tomorrow night.
But in the last few years, it really hasn't been a real rivalry because of Clinton being down a lot. Clinton's got a lot of enthusiasm right now, new coach, new facilities, and as I understand, there 12 hot dogs is a lot of money. Especially for
I don't know if
ET.
it is
That's
or
a lot
not.
of money. That's a lot of money. But
And they're facing a guy that's the head coach of Clinton that's never lost in Anderson County.
okay.
Never.
So how is it a problem? Is it a problem?
One more day to say that.
Keeping
Okay.
getting your football team up for a game that should be easy to do.
I think, and here again, we're not preparing for this game this week. We've been preparing for these games since January, and we've been talking to our kids about these games that are going to come up. That, our goal is to be 10-0 at the end of the regular season, and our goal is to go through the playoffs. And like you said earlier, we want to play Greenville week 3 up there.
That's what it looks like right now. If you look at it, it looks like a matchup week 3 with Greenville.
And that's another question. Now let's take the Clinton game. You know all about it. Mm-hmm. You don't know much about Chattanooga Central. You don't know much about the Chattanooga teams. So in trying to prepare your team mentally for those games, how tough is that?
And you know, we talk about all the time making it about your team and not about the other team, and taking care of your team in practice and making sure that you're doing the fundamentals and that you're practicing at a high level, and that those things carry over into Friday. And if all those things are true, what you do in January, February, March, what you do in June, July, and August, they carry over.
Right, I agree
on
with
Monday,
you.
Tuesday, Wednesday, they carry over onto that Friday game.
Have you been to Butch Jones's communication class?
Hard to say.
he
Sounds a
Details,
lot like Butch.
accountability, toughness. We're
Sounds a
back.
lot like- but
We're gonna
listen.
be on that.
You shouldn't have to do too much pep talk. All you have to do is tell the kids.
He won't. And
All
Ricky
you have to
won't-
do is tell the
he
kids,
won't.
let's go get on the bus. We're going down to Clinton and play this Friday night.
Yeah.
And that's all it should take. That's the same thing it should be for Clinton.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to do very much
know-
for pep talk
they know
because
pep
that's
talk. They
they're
know.
way close. I
Yeah.
mean, those kids have all grown up together.
Yeah.
They've played against each other in every sport that there is. They know each other. Parents know each other.
Yeah.
And it'll be a huge game for. It's been a huge series since it's got there, and I think they've just won 8 in a row.
Don't.
Well, you have.
Don't
You've just
go.
won 8 in a row. That's
Okay.
all you've won. Zach.
Well, it says
You can
17
say
on my
17
shirt.
on your shirt.
Oh, is that-
But me and no, Brad's got the stats over here.
He can
That's
put it
right.
up there. He
You
can
think
show
that's the
it.
Kool-Aid's ranking?
That's the
2009.
Kool-Ladies. 23 and 8 all time. I give him that. And
Since
but
Gary
it's
Terry's been
but
there,
it's
it's been a little different.
but
stat.
it's but it's 8 in a row, and we'll see what happens Friday night.
We're excited.
I wish we were there, but
Coach,
we're someplace else.
one thing about high school football, and especially in this area, did you ever conceive that high school football would be playing at a level we're playing at, in front of the crowds we're playing in front of?
Yeah.
That now you almost have to decide which TV station is even coming.
Right,
I mean, high school football in East Tennessee, they can talk about Florida, they can
Yeah.
talk about
It's big and a lot of
Texas, but for our location and for our schools, it's huge.
I kind of in 1996 when I Coach Gaddis out there, I see him out there. He invited me onto the Oak Ridge Wildcat team to coach down there in 1996, and I was immediately spoiled with the giant crowds that they had down there, and the team that we put on the field with Sean Bohannon and that group down there, and went to the semifinals, those types of things. I thought, man, I've done something right here, you know. I've been spoiled to come into to be able to coach in East Tennessee football because it's so special.
Not only just the how big it is, but what about the facilities?
Yeah.
I mean, the facilities
Yeah.
are going crazy. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
everybody's playing on turf now. Just
Right.
about it seems like there's
Yeah.
a few teams that still not. But the facilities, I mean, y'all got a phenomenal facility.
Well, everybody has a weight room. Go to single day schools,
Well,
weight rooms.
Yeah.
Their
the
facilities
whole
as good as
shooting
some
match.
junior college facilities.
It's better
And Clinton's
than
working.
some
We
small
have-
colleges.
And some small college.
We have some schools stop by our school on the way to play other schools to do walkthroughs and practice on our
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. So it's really really high school football. High school football has went big time. So
Yeah.
it's really something big.
Yeah, we're excited. And like I said, it's a lot of fun to be in East Tennessee. Coaching high school football is a dream and a lot of fun to do, and just blessed to get to do it each day.
Understand that.
Well, appreciate you being here, and it's always fun coming up there. And
Y'all are coming up for the
watching.
Heritage game in 2 weeks?
Yes.
2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We'll be there.
We'll be waiting on you.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Good night.
Get
Thank
after
you.
Y'all always
Yeah,
take care.
appreciate
We
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, look
All right.
forward to it.
Jump
All
out
right.
there, take a break.
it. Take a break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
That was me, way back when. Some things have really changed over the years, but some things have gotten even better, like Reno's customer service. It's faster, friendlier, and we offer the name brands you ask for. East Tennessee's team dealer, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers, a member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Rome Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Outback models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the locker room, and David, now we go to the other sideline for this big matchup Friday night. Coach McCamey from Clinton, and Coach, welcome to Channel 12 territory here officially. You know, we've had and talked, and been able to watch you a lot at Grace, but now you're part of the official family at Clinton there. So welcome back home.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here and glad to be part of this. Again, we only got to experience it maybe once a year when we played Rockwood, so I'm glad to be part of it and be back home.
So thus far, you've gone through spring, you've gone through some fall practice and stuff. Pleased with what you're seeing?
Yeah, I am. Again, we've been fighting kind of a uphill battle somewhat, just trying to rebrand things, if you will, and you know, still been able to ride the coattails of people that's been there at Clinton and build on our tradition. But it's been tough. We've had to grow up in a hurry, and I joke, you know, I tell people all the time we had to start feeding them Happy Meals. And now we're finally getting the big boy meals. So we were young.
Well, Coach, there's a lot of buzz in town, especially about you, but Gaylor also. You brought Coach Gaylor back, come back to help. I think he just started coming back a little bit, just coming back to give you some advice or look at things and evaluate things. Is he coaching? What's he doing?
Yeah. I mean, quick story. He went through spring with us, and you know, it was something he wanted to do. I approached him, and he said he would be interested in doing it. And we met at the end of spring practice to kind of debrief. And I'll never forget, we went to a classroom, and he had all his notes that he would take. And again, he was kind of coaching the coaches, not the players. And when we got done, he looked at me and he just said, you know, if you would have me, he said, I'd like to have a whistle, and I want to blow it, and I want to coach. And which was just a tremendous blessing. And
you just happen to have a whistle in your pocket?
I happen to have a whistle, and he's been blowing the whistle, and it's been great. And I looked up to even today, and I saw Jason Leinert, and of course they're going to honor the 92 team Friday night. And then I look up and see this humongous guy walking over toward us, and it was Scotty Whitt, and then they're all wanting to come out and see Coach Gaylor. So that's helping build that excitement, get the alumni back, and having guys on my staff like Tim Minga and Jason Hammock. I mean, it really helps.
You know, Coach, people have a hard time sometimes relating high school football with other levels when really it's all the same. It's the same peaks, it's the same valleys, it's the same thing. You can take a good program, and when it goes down, it really is hard to get it back up. And of course, Clinton's one of the more storied programs in East Tennessee. But it's just hard. First of all, you have to get your kids in the community started at a younger level, like you're talking about. You have to get the community involved, and sometimes that's one of the harder things to do, because when the community's not there, they're not coming out to the games. The kids see that, and it's hard to get it going. But I think you're on the right track.
Well, it has so many facets, and it starts, like you said, at an early age. I was fortunate enough to bring Eric Woodard with me to go to the middle school and help build that program, and he's doing a good job there, and got people like LaShawn Goins and some other guys that played at Clinton that are working with the youth program. So it all starts there, and there's so many people involved. I mean, it cannot just be just one.
Coach, let's talk about the game Friday night. Anderson County comes in pretty potent. 2 really good running backs, a good quarterback, pretty good size offensive line. What's Clinton got to do to win this ball game Friday night?
Well, we got to keep them off the field. I mean, and there's no secret about the offense I run. I mean, if you watch the Tennessee-Georgia Tech game, it's got to be a similar situation because they're so explosive. I made a joke. I called Coach Gillum, I guess it was Saturday, on a film swap. We were having a little trouble on huddle. And I told him, I said, I clicked the button to send the film, and y'all scored. I mean, they're that explosive. So I don't know if he thought that was funny or not. I thought it was kind of cute. But
I think it's funny.
Yeah, that's how explosive they are. So we just, again, if we can keep them off the field, we can keep the ball, we'll be doing okay. But, again, Coach Gaylor and Coach Ming are doing a great job. We've only played 2 games, but we've given up 8 points as well. That's the strength of our team right now. There's no secret about that, is our defense. The strength of I think, their team is the offense. So it's going to be a great battle.
Coach, I was able to watch you just at the tail end of a scrimmage at Kingston, and you really had some good-looking kids, especially looks like at the skill positions and stuff. And of course, and that's not a bad place to start, but you have to be physical up front as well in today's high school standards. And it looks like you're getting there.
Right, yeah. We have a lot of skill guys. I mean, I make no bones about it. I was at Grace. We had a lot of skill guys at Grace. I mean, the Jake Mingas and the Will McCameys and those guys, Devin Smith. But I've never had this many skill guys. But like you said, having the big boys up front, I've always been able to do and move people around. So that's our goal, and I think we're getting better each week. And if we can maintain or control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, we've got a chance. If we don't have a chance. It's that simple. So I've challenged my linemen on both sides of the ball to try to dominate.
Coach, as you was walking in, we was asking Coach Terry about how big high school football's got. What about the facilities? I mean, y'all are building a phenomenal facility. I mean, is high school football getting too big?
I mean, it's a trickle down. We've seen it from the NFL to college and from college to high school. So, again, I don't know that. I think it can only get as big as a coach will allow it if you'll keep your roots and stay grounded of the X's and O's. And I told my team today, I said, don't make too much out of this great game. It's blocking and tackling. I mean, it's your job to score and get across that white line and keep the other team from doing it. So a lot of times I think we make too much out of it. So we're trying to stay humbled. We are very, very blessed with the building we've got. Every day something new happens, and we're blown away. But as a staff, if we can keep them grounded and realize and stick to the X's and O's, we'll be just fine.
Coach, one of the things that probably high school athletics and football in particular probably doesn't get enough credit for is it's not just about Friday nights. It's not just about football season, but and I've often said, you can ask 100 kids that played high school football who one of their teachers was in school, and you may get 50%.
Right. But
you ask a young man who his football coach is, and you're going to get about 99%. Some of them try to forget, I guess, after it's all over with. But my point is that high school football in most of our communities, they branch out. They get to the middle schools, they get to the elementary schools, and they see, and I'm sure you're telling your kids all the time, be careful what you're doing out here, guys, because there's a first or second grader that's emulating you. Mm-hmm. You're as close to a hero as they can get right now.
Right.
And I think sometimes we overlook that aspect of high school athletics.
I agree. I've got a group of guys right now. eating Chinese food somewhere. I know they all went to go eat, and I tell them all the time, you're a direct reflection of this program and ultimately of me. So you're right. I mean, they wear that C, and they're going to be recognized. And we've got a tradition. All the kids, will go to Hoskins and eat breakfast on Friday mornings after they open car doors. And again, we're just trying to be out there and let them be seen in the community, which hopefully kind of charges them with the fact that they know that all eyes are on them, good or bad.
Coach Terry was talking about his kids doing things. I know y'all been going to the elementary schools, and tell us a little bit about that. What's going on there?
Yeah, we try to rotate. We've been to South Clinton Elementary School. We've been to Clinton Elementary School. Headed to Claxton Elementary School next, just trying to be there for the kids. And it's amazing when they open up the door and you see them when they first open the door, they're tired, they don't want to go to school, and then you just don't realize it. And I can look back when I was a youngster in elementary school, those high school football players meant something to me. So they're high-fiving and they're running into the school and wanting pictures taken. So it's a big deal. And we enjoy doing it. I know our players like doing it as well.
Well, Coach, good luck Friday night. It's always good to catch up with you, and good luck in this football season, and thanks for getting that enthusiasm back in the Clinton community.
Well, it's my pleasure. I love it, and it's our calling. It's been a family ordeal for us. Reagan came on board and moved from Grace. That was hard for him to leave his friend group, and of course my wife and her sister are bought in, and they're helping feed the kids every day. And again, like I said earlier, it takes so many people, not just a coaching staff, but a community to do this. And it's not going to happen overnight. That's why we kind of came up with the slogan "On the Rise," because we're just trying to rise, and I think we've been doing a little bit of that each week.
I've been around Clinton a long time. I've not seen a community like this in a long time. I mean, it's everybody's pretty hyped up, and I was talking to some buddies today. I was talking to the fire chief and assistant chief and a lieutenant on the police department, Carl Bailey, and they all said, "You're forgetting something, David. Clinton's going to win the game Friday night because Coach McCamey's never lost to Anderson County." Now, I heard you make that comment, but that's what they said. They said Clinton by 7. So there you go, Coach.
Well, we tend to play well against each other. We know each other, and the kids know each other. It's a Tennessee Vanderbilt. Throw out the records. The kids are going to compete. And we have had a little bit of success in the past with them. We played them 2 years in a row, and we also played them in the Jamboree. So, again, that makes it fun for the coaches, too.
Let's end that streak Friday night, okay?
We got it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
luck.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll be right back.
That was me, way back when. Some things have really changed over the years, but some things have gotten even better, like Reno's customer service. It's faster, friendlier, and we offer the name brands you ask for. East Tennessee's team dealer, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Outback models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
There's only one thing better than owning a Simplicity lawn tractor or zero-turn mower, and that's purchasing it at your neighborhood Simplicity dealer. It's like getting a free outdoor power equipment expert who will help you select, operate, and maintain your equipment for years to come. So visit your local Simplicity dealer today and get a free expert with every purchase.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
If you play team sports, you want the best gear and the top name brands. That's why at Reno Sporting Goods we offer the best and safest gear from top manufacturers like Adidas, Russell, Wilson, and more. Reno Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Well, and welcome back, and we're going to make the trifecta here tonight. Now, Coach Joe Gaddis, and Coach, we see you sitting out here every week, but it's good to have you behind the microphone.
Well, glad to be here.
And Coach, obviously, I've asked you this before about making this schedule out. You need to talk. You need to talk to your schedule maker.
Well, unfortunately, I'd be talking to myself,
Well,
which I do that.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, I do that quite a bit anyway. So it's been a tough road for sure. Hardin Valley, Dobbins Bennett, Campbell County, now Farragut, then West, and then Sevier County, who's playing better than some people expected. So it doesn't get any easier.
So, Coach, you go to Farragut. You were the only team to beat Farragut last year. So you know that the clippings have probably been on the blackboard since last year. But you're taking a pretty good football team that's getting better each week.
Well, I hope so. I hope we're getting better every week. We certainly have a lot of improvement that we can make on both sides of the ball, but especially on the offensive side. We've got to be able to establish some running attack and be more balanced. We're throwing and catching the ball pretty well. We're actually pass protecting decently. We just haven't been successful running the football.
Coach, did I hear you right Friday night to say you only ran one play or two plays in the second half? Is that,
that third quarter, honestly, was essentially one play. It was
a run or pass play. It
was an option that Johnny could decide, and some of those decisions were made on the sidelines. But that's pretty much what we did.
But Coach, sometimes you adapt, right? You do what you have to do, and if that's what you can do well, then that's a sign of a pretty good coaching staff and a team that can, you've practiced all week, and all of a sudden guys were changing.
Well, defensively,
going in a different direction.
Defensively, had a good plan last week, and we always seem to have a good plan against Campbell County. We did a good job defensively. The coaches always have us prepared on the defensive side. Offensively, we did make some adjustments at the half, and came out and did what we did. We looked much different in the third quarter than we did in the whole first half. But hopefully, we can carry that over into the Farragut game.
How much improvement has your quarterback made from last year to this year? Because I know you really talk about him, you really brag about him, and just listening to everything about him, how big a jump's he made?
A tremendous jump. I don't know how to really equate where he is now compared to what he was then. He was never bad last year, but he's a much better quarterback. He's more comfortable. He gets rid of the ball much quicker. I call it ad-libs back there, and when he has to run around, he'll find receivers while he's on the run back there. He's laying the ball in there. He's throwing some deep balls right on the money. He's hit some windows that I didn't even know existed, and it scared me a little bit a time or two. But he got it in there, so he's really doing a good job, and he's run a few times when we really needed him to do that too.
Coach, again, Farragut, a non-region game for you, so it's all about getting better, and it's all about playing up. This is a time on your schedule where a win Friday night really propels you into the section of your schedule that really matters, doesn't it?
Oh yes, absolutely. This would be a big win for us, and it would come at a great time because then we're pretty much, with the exception of Sevier County, we're region every week after this game. So it's a good time for a big win.
And we talked before the season started this 4-game stretch, and I said then if you could come out of this 3-1. You're really probably in really good shape, because to ask 4 wins with a long trip to Dobbins Bennett, that was, to me, that was about as good. Obviously, you'd want to be 4-0, but 3-1 would be a really good situation for you.
Well, given that we're 2-1 right now, a win over Farragut to put us 3-1 would be great for us, and I'd be excited with that. But more than that, I want to improve. I want to show improvement, and obviously we want to win the game.
Let me ask you one more question. T. Higgins, Saturday, how proud of you was you of it?
Very. Hate to. Of course, he caught a little tunnel screen, rocket screen, whatever you want to call it. But I hate the touchdown was a call back with the offensive interference. But very proud of him. He did a good job, and he'll. I hope he'll play quite a bit against Auburn. That'll be a step up in competition for sure. But I'm very proud to see him. And the coaches text me occasionally and talk about how great he is off the field, how everybody loves him there. I'm talking about, professors and students and coaches and teammates. He's just a great guy and obviously a great talent.
Coach, you talked about the running game, and you've got a young man that obviously is attracting a lot of attention, and perhaps that's what's opening the rest of your offense up. But if that offensive line, and I'm sure you're challenging them to guys, if we can turn this guy loose, if we can get Graham loose, it's gonna be much easier to break the whole playbook out.
Well, a lot of what we're doing, a lot of the success we're having is because of everyone's preoccupation with Jordan Graham. But we need to be able to do some things with him. I don't want to decoy him for 10 weeks and then get ready for the playoffs. We're not really trying to decoy him. I'm being sarcastic, but we've got to open up some holes and get him out in some space in the open field because he's mighty dangerous out there.
Well, Coach, good luck Friday night. I've got you coming in 3-1 and getting on to some region play and because I really think that this football team has the capabilities of getting better every week, and offensively you still have a lot of that unused playbook that I think you'll be able to bring, and Farragut's Farragut's had some close games, so it's not that they're running everyone off the field. So I like you Friday night. Go get them, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
That was me, way back when. Some things have really changed over the years, but some things have gotten even better, like Reno's customer service. It's faster, friendlier, and we offer the name brands you ask for. East Tennessee's team dealer, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Outback models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Beautiful yards make a statement. And beautiful yards come from Simplicity Mowers. Their exclusive free-floating mower decks with full-width rollers track the contours of your yard for a perfect cut. So visit your neighborhood Simplicity dealer today. and start the conversation about your lawn. Simplicity, the way to a beautiful lawn.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
If you play team sports, you want the best gear and the top name brands. That's why at Reno Sporting Goods we offer the best and safest gear from top manufacturers like Adidas, Russell, Wilson, and more. Reno Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Welcome back to the locker room. Glad to have all these coaches out tonight, and
glad to have them up here to help us out a little bit. Wow,
my credit card will be maxed out having to feed all these people.
Yeah, you ain't fed a soul, nor will you.
Let's go around the bend real quick here. Last week, Oak Ridge goes to Campbell County and gets a big win, and
tough ball game.
Just like Coach Gaddis talks now. Now we're on the way to Farragut, and a win from Farragut really, I think, propels this football team for the next couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm with you. I think Oak Ridge wins Friday night.
Rockwood goes to Tellico Plains, gets a big win at Tellico Plains.
That's up to the coach back there. That's what he said.
You get Harriman takes on a really, really good Cofield team, and Cofield's just got. I mean, they've got it all.
They got weapons everywhere, and it's a big football for a Class A football team. They're a big football team.
Talk about physicality.
Oh,
talk about
man.
the guys up front. Talk about
Speed.
Talk about throwing the football. Talking about running the football. Talking about
all
kicking
of
the
it.
football. Pretty good effort. Oliver Springs had the week off, so they'll get ready to do battle this week. Kingston goes to Austin East, a really, really good football team. A lot of folks think that Austin East has a chance to move on into the playoffs, and they're holding their own 6-0 at halftime, and then the bottom just sort of falls out.
That's a tough place to go play.
It is
first
a
of all,
tough place. Coach Pankey knows that.
And Coach Pankey knows that very well. He coached over there, so I really thought when we left here last Wednesday, Kingston might have a shot at that game, and I still think. And today, I still think that was a crucial game for Kingston. They needed that game for their moxie for the rest of the year, I think.
Well, but I think they're still on schedule.
Well, they could be. I'm not saying they're not.
I say that if you look at their schedule, and you pick out the games that you felt like they would win, they're still on schedule.
But I thought that was.
I don't think that's a game that a lot of fans. Realistically, they would like to have won it. And,
I think it's a
had
game they could have
chance.
won, though.
And it could have. But what I'm saying is if you realistically look at that and you just
I
say,
know, I agree with you.
Bing, 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 bing.
But I just thought it was a game that Kingston was. Just thought they were finally there and they could win that. They needed to win that ball game. I'm not saying they won't go on and do really good. Well, we'll know in a couple of days when we see them Friday night at Rockwood. That's a big rivalry game. Rockwood's only won one time and. 2013 is the last time they won, but that series so that's a series right there that Kingston leads that series over 60 years, 42-17-1. So if they come in flat Friday night and Rockwood will, they'll jump on it. And they could. We don't know that.
And that's
they'll need to come and play Friday night.
Rockwood's probably getting them at a good time coming off of a loss. Who are we forgetting? Midway comes up with the big win over Oakdale. So Midway is now, 2-1?
2-1, yeah. Looking good.
So looking good. Got some games, put my glasses on here. Got some games this week. As we mentioned, Anderson County will be at Clinton. CAK will be at Lenoir City. Catholic will be at Cleveland. And I'm going to agree with you this week. They still have Catholic ranked, and they lose to an out-of-state team, probably a very, very good football team. But I can no longer support the fact that Catholic 1 and 2 is ranked. Ray County still is in there. Okay, Ray County, but being number 10, I think Ray County probably is.
If you want to talk about Catholic, and I'm not a defender of Catholic in any way, but Catholic got beat by a team out of Georgia last week that was equivalent to, I think, our 5A state championship team from last year. So they didn't get beat by just anybody.
Okay.
They got beat by a pretty good football team
Well, that makes me
last
feel
week.
better. That makes me feel better.
I
So,
agree
leave
with
them in
you.
there. Leave them in there one more week.
No.
Leave them
I
in there
agree
one
with
more
you. They
week.
don't need to be there. Neither does Hillsborough or Ray County. Either
let's
one.
leave them in there one more week. Let's go to 1A here and start all over, Brad, if we can here. And my man here's
No. You did that, not me.
and there's Greenback and
Look
and
at 1 and
Cofield.
2 at the points that. Look at the first place votes. Tell me how that works out.
Well,
South Pitt gets 4.
they
Dresden
have,
gets 8.
They have more sports writers in those areas.
We understand that, but this goes to show you how flawed the poll system is in high school football.
Well, I mean, at least they flip-flopped 1 and 2 from last week.
But no, just look at it. That don't make no sense.
Huh?
That don't make no sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I don't see how you have Cofield 7. I mean, my point.
Who you put them in front of?
I put them ahead of Greenback.
I
put them ahead of
You got
Greenback.
to look at Greenback got a first place vote, and they did.
Well, that's from
Huntington
that's from Knoxville.
Well, that's okay. Huntington gets a first place vote too. So,
but I'm just saying, I'm
not arguing about. I like Cofield and a lot.
From 3 and 4. You know,
where's Whitwell at?
Whitwell's in Sequatchie County.
Is that Sequatchie?
Yeah, and that's a Whitwell probably couldn't beat. I'd like to see Midway play Whitwell. Midway would give Whitwell. Whitwell is very small school that.
How about Greenback being where they're at? Just on because we're looking at last year.
Then I'd put Cofield 3 then.
Yeah, maybe. Listen, I think Cofield ought to be 1 if you don't just get right
Well,
down to
but
it.
but I'm
just giving Greenback the little respect that I think they've earned over the last couple of years, and that's going to be one game that between Cofield Green that'll be a game right there later on in the year, and I mean later on in the year.
They need to get a big stadium for that game.
The winner of that game will be playing in the Single A state championship.
Well,
game.
you don't know that.
Well, I'm just making a prediction, just
Okay.
like you are. I mean, I can do that.
Well, you can make a prediction.
So
they
October
need to
the
move that to a big stadium.
It does need to be in a big play, but I'm talking they'll meet again in the playoffs.
But you take away the atmosphere then.
Oh Lord, that atmosphere at Greenback is unbelievable.
You can't sit in the back of your pickup truck in a recliner.
Either place. I don't care where that game's at. Either place, the atmosphere is unreal.
It is
unreal for single A football.
Okay, let's go to 2A. And 2A, Marion County is a team from the past that's sort of awakened. They've had a couple of coaches down there. Meigs County plays Marion County.
Marion County.
Well, I guarantee if they beat Marion County and they don't jump to number 1 in the state, there's something bad wrong. Meigs County is a good football team that's in the region with Rockwood and them. So
Union City,
Trousdale County is another former single A school that's come up. Columbia Academy has been there for a
Is Peabody
long
out of
time.
Nashville? Is that a Nashville team?
Peabody, yes. Peabody's out with Peabody College.
Okay.
High
And
school
Eagleville,
everything.
where is that off the? I think I asked you this last week. Is that? No, it's in Rutherford County. Is it Rutherford
Eagleville
County?
is in
It's
Rutherford
in Rutherford
County?
County. Okay.
Wow, so
All right.
another Rutherford County team. And Happy Valley shouldn't be in the top 10 either. We've had too many experiences with those teams come playoff time. So 3A, Alcoa, and I'm going to guess that Gary Rankin gets win number 400 against Maryville.
400.
Yep, he's got
Friday night.
He's got $3.99.
Is that Friday night?
Yeah.
Where's the game at? You know?
I don't matter.
Maryville or yeah, it matters to me.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm going to say win number 400 comes against Maryville.
I'll take Maryville. I'm just telling you, I'll take Maryville.
And there's Austin East 6. So you got Alcoa, Austin East in the same region.
Big showdown this week with AE and Fulton.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know where it's at. I think it might be at AE, be a matter of fact. I'm not 100% sure of
And that really doesn't matter.
It doesn't
As close
matter
as
where
they are,
it's close there. You can throw a rock and hit
The
either
only
one
thing
of
that
them.
matters there is you get to dress in your own dressing room.
That's it. That's the only thing that matters. That ought to be a good game.
You get the announcer. You get the loudspeaker announcer that can get your teams going.
Yeah. AE will take care of that.
Okay, so that's 4A. Let's look at 5A. We did, and Beach jumped from I didn't think Beach was number 1 last week. I thought they were
No, they
3 or
were
4. Wow. And I don't think Beach can play with Fulton. I don't think Beach can play with Catholic or Oak Ridge. And there's the other Columbia. There's the Columbia Academy and the other Columbia.
That's the Columbia that Anderson County played a few years ago on a consistent basis in the playoffs and got eliminated by them a lot. I mean,
Like
back
a
in
1-point game.
Yeah, 1 or 2 point. Yeah, really close. Really some good football games back in 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. So there's 5A, and in 6A, there's the Murfreesboro schools as well. Maryville with first, and they dropped to third. Oakland moves up. With Blackman, and Oakland didn't play last week and still moves up.
Wow.
That's that big win over Ray County, propelled them right up to the number 1 spot.
Yeah, well, Ray County don't need to be in there, period. You don't talk about a team don't need to be ranked top 10. That's Ray County. Farragut's number 6, so no problem this week.
And I think that's overrated.
You think it's overrated?
Yeah, they were 4 last week.
Who'd they play? Who'd they play this past Friday night? Who did they play? Who'd they play? I don't.
Last week was like McMinn County or
McMinn Central. Well, okay. I didn't
So-
see the score, so I didn't remember. I couldn't
So some
remember.
other games, and I don't remember where we were now. We were talking about we've got Dobbins Bennett will be at Sevier County, and Sevier County is another opponent of Oak Ridge later on. Fulton at Austin East. Harriman will be at Oneida, and it doesn't
Wow.
get any easier for Coach Tapp.
Coach Tapp, that's a
They
tough place.
just
He's got to go to
keep-
Oneida.
gotta
That's
go
a
to
tough place
Oneida.
to go play, too. That's another tough place.
Kings Academy will be at Greenback, and
Wow.
that's,
I feel sorry for Kings Academy.
Kings Academy better take it all with them.
Yeah.
Kingston will be at Rockwood. Maryville will be at Alcoa. McMinn County will be at Ray County. Midway will be at Unaka. Oak Ridge at Farragut. Powell at Carnes. Scott at Granger. Sunbright at Cofield. Wartburg at Oakdale. And William Blunt will be at Heritage.
Midway to Unaka. What a trip.
How about Union County? Where's Union County? Union County's at Claiborne. They get them another win.
They might.
They'll get them another win.
Some chuckles from the crowd.
They'll rename what's that highway going up through there?
I don't know.
They'll rename it Kerr Highway.
They might. Rutledge Pike, Brad
Rutledge
said.
Pike. It'll be Kerr Highway.
Well, it might be if he can win another one.
That's right.
He's already broke the streak, so we'll
That's
see.
right. That's right. Let's talk real quick. College football. What a weekend to start college football.
Was a good weekend, but I think this weekend might be just a little bit better than last weekend that's coming up. There's some really big games on tap this weekend,
Can't
too.
get any better. Can't get any better.
Can't get any better. I heard somebody go Dogs or something out there.
You got Florida and Michigan. Florida got them a little dose, but they had it only took about a 28 passenger bus to get the team on the airplane.
I heard that.
Everybody was left behind.
Suspended.
But still played well.
Who did?
Florida. Still played well. Offensively, they had they got some things to work on.
They're in trouble.
But the big one to me, Texas A&M blowing a 34-point lead against UCLA.
Wow. A lot of people's call for the coach's head automatically, and that's what you figured I'd probably say tonight. He had to go, but at least they played more than one game just to see if he could win one. But they did blow. Now, that just goes to show you that their defense and that defensive staff is not as good as what it's billed. Overpaid for the defensive coordinator. Overpaid.
You've heard it right here.
Overpaid.
You're hearing it right here first. He will be gone by midseason.
Who? The chief? Yeah, he needs to be gone.
The chief will be the first one gone, followed by the head coach.
You're probably right, and deserving.
But they'll package the chief's $1 million contract in his right hip pocket and wish him well.
They ought to go ahead and do that today, and they'd be better off. Maybe they'll win a few games because he's definitely lost.
Georgia comes away with a win, but loses a quarterback. How long will he be out?
They said.
So if he's out one more week, they're okay. They'll be okay. Although they've got a tough game this week.
Notre Dame.
And if Kelly loses this game this week, Kelly's in the hot seat, hotter than it already is.
Well, everybody's saying that it's Georgia's game to win, so we'll see. Even playing the quarterback.
Alabama, Florida State. Florida State loses a quarterback.
Hate the kid got hurt, but I don't think it made any difference really.
They just
he got hurt
when
late.
You throw back-to-back interceptions,
it hurts.
With a team like Alabama, it really is bad. But I think that game had too much hype to it. When you know that Saban and Alabama aren't going to raise it a bit, it's sort of like Coach said here tonight. It's even keel. You don't get way up, you don't get
way down.
But I thought the overall weekend was huge for college football.
Well, it's a good week. It was a good weekend of football. You're right, but this weekend builds up to be just as good. So I think it's really started out strong. So
Tennessee, Georgia Tech.
Here's some. I'll make one point to you. We have been working on the Georgia Tech scheme. I say we like I've been over there, which I've not. They've been working on this thing since January of 2017. No, don't give me no timeout yet. I got the ball right now, so you can't call it. And I'm still running the play. Hold on a minute. They've been working since January 17th. They dedicated all spring practice to this game. Yes. And then if I'm lying, Bush Jones is lying. Then that's what he said.
No, they couldn't.
That's what he said.
No, they have not. No.
That's what he said. They've been working on the scheme since in January.
Well, they
started working on the scheme in January. Let me tell you, if that's the best scheme they've got to stop that, and I understand it's tough to stop, it's going to be a really long year because there's some teams that's going to line up and run the ball right down their throat, and they're coming. Alabama, LSU, Georgia's got 2 good running backs. There's 3 teams that's going to run it down their throat, and I'm telling right.
I'm going to guess that Tennessee spent very little time until recently on the Georgia Tech game.
Come on, Ron, you know better than that.
Which game would you spend more time on, the Georgia Tech game or the Florida game?
I spend more time. I want to win the Florida game, but you know how important that game was.
No, wait just a minute.
I answered your question.
I think the difference was, and we talked about it last week. I don't think there was any question in any Tennessee fan's mind that we could probably score enough points to win the game. Now, I don't know that we were counting on giving up 500 yards rushing, but my point is, I think
that's ridiculous.
I think you could expect to win the football game, but you couldn't afford to spend all your time on Georgia Tech. You're going to see it one time a year.
Well, I don't mean they spend all the time, but they've schemed.
Well, I mean, since January.
That's what they said.
No.
Well,
they might have started talking about it.
Like I said, they
said
they started working on the scheme for Georgia Tech, getting stuff ready for Georgia Tech right after the bowl game.
Very little time, though. But very little time.
No, not very little time.
Like I say, I don't think that you counted on them rushing for 500 yards. But I think offensively, the Callaway kid, I think we found a receiver.
I agree
hate that Jennings is hurt.
We found somebody.
But I think when Josh Smith comes back, I think you pick up a lot of Well, I think you pick up a lot of production from him in the slot.
I was disappointed in the tight end. Tight end he dropped a few.
And he was talking all fall about going through fall practice without dropping the ball.
What's he do?
Well, he might have made it through the fall, but come light time when the lights turned on.
I see no improvement defensive back-wise on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe there has been. It didn't look like it. It didn't look like it Monday night.
I don't know how Martin got all the accolades about fall practice because he's a disaster. And why were we 2 yards off the line of scrimmage with our defensive line?
Who knows? They didn't attack. They just didn't attack defensively, attack that running game like it should have been. There's some high school coaches could have done a better job.
Okay. Guys, we're out of time. Thanks to coaches for coming by tonight. Get out and support your teams this week because we're in week 4 already, folks. And Coach's Corner be following us. So stay tuned. Coach Gaddis is in the house. He'll be here. See you next week.
That was me, way back when. Some things have really changed over the years, but some things have gotten even better, like Reno's customer service. It's faster, friendlier, and we offer the name brands you ask for. East Tennessee's team dealer, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too.